think one big reason why many people fail to deliver a good presentation is that they either neglect or oversee this step and they just jump right in writing their text. Hello everyone, my name is Lumi, and before we start, I want to thank every single person that watched my previous video. If you didn't, you can click here, where the link will be in the description box below. And this week's shout out goes to my family. I cannot express how important it is to get this kind of support when you start a new project. It doesn't matter if it's a YouTube channel or a new job, it's really important to know that your back is covered. So thank you so much. Mulțumesc! I did a little research on my social media accounts. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And I found out that many people think that when they start to prepare for a presentation, they either have to just start writing and the inspiration will come in, or they have to think of a title because this is the most important of their speech, or they try to watch other speeches that were on the same topic, and this is where they gather some ideas, and then they do bullet points, and out of bullet points they do the speech, and so on and so forth. And all these strategies are not wrong. The problem is that they all miss the first step. Let's say you already know what topic you are going to discuss, where this presentation will take place, how many people will be in the audience, and so on and so forth. So let's put all these pre-preparation actions in step number 0. Now, before you even start to think about any rhetorical device, title, description, flip chart, PowerPoint, first thing that you have to do is to think about your structure. Can you do a presentation without thinking about a structure first? Yes. Will it be really good? No. Having a well-thought structure is not just pleasant to hear and interesting for your audience, it's actually important for you. Let's start with the classical one, linear structure. When you decide to structure your presentation in a linear way, you actually go for the standard model of introduction, body, conclusion. What exactly you want to include into your introduction, body, and conclusion is actually up to you, your topic, and the type of presentation you'll hold. When you're at a scientific conference or you present the financials of a company, you might include in the introduction the background, then in the body the input session or what you want to say, and in conclusion maybe future perspectives. Things are getting more spiced up if you decide to take a circular structure. In a nutshell, you end with what you started, like a circle. But there are actually two different ways to do that. Fear to be said that the circular structure is more used in storytelling rather than financial presentations. First, you can do a conclusion exactly like your introduction. So the story ends right at the same point where it began. This will create an effect of infinity. That means that the story or the stories that you talked about will happen again and again and again and again and again. There are actually two channels that are focused on finance and trading, but they use this kind of structure when presenting the circle of economics or the circle of life and so on and so forth. If you're interested, you can click the links in the description box below. Second, you can make a conclusion very similar to your introduction, but with a twist. That means that you can start your conclusion with the same words or the same phrase that you start your introduction with, but make a different ending to that. This actually has an opposite effect rather than the first type of circular structure, because it actually breaks the vicious circle. I used exactly this kind of structure in my TEDx speech. If you didn't watch it, I highly recommend you to do this. You can click here or the link will be in the description box below. For those that already watched this video, it's basically love sucks. This is something we all said at least once. These two phrases are exactly the same at the beginning, in the introduction, and in the conclusion. The only difference is the ending. For the third structure, I actually couldn't find the official name of it, but I personally call it bunny structure. This one is highly recommended when the audience that you'll present to has the right to interrupt you during your presentation and ask questions. Also for this one, there are two variations. In the first scenario, the structure that you prepared before is actually vital for your audience to see the whole picture. Taking the previous example with background, results, and future perspectives, it is important for your audience to really hear the background first, then go to the result, and only then go to the future perspectives. Not to be mentioned that people are interested in different things, so there is a high chance that in your audience there will be people that absolutely don't care about the background or the results. They are here to hear about future perspectives, and they will interrupt you and they will try to get their answers while you talk. The worst thing that you can do in this case is to tell the person that you'll come to this point later, or to have patience, this is on your schedule. And it's even worse when you say that although you answered previous questions. This will sound rude, aggressive, and you will definitely not motivate or inspire these kind of people to hear your whole speech because it is important. In contrary, they will sabotage you. What you can do is give a very short answer to the question and say, this will happen because, and go back where you stopped. For example, next year we're planning to sell 3 buildings because last quarter we lost 20% of the revenue, and so on and so on and so on and so on. In the second scenario of the bunny structure, it actually doesn't matter if you first speak about the background, then about the results, then the future forecast or future perspectives, or the other way around. But take care, this doesn't mean that you can relax and forget about the structure. It actually implies even more work. For this kind of cases, I highly recommend you to initially structure your presentation in a linear way. That means that you will have to have a very interesting introduction and really think what topics belong to what part or what category. Now the extra work starts when you have to sit down, think of the topic that you want to present, and foresee questions that might appear during the presentation. Moreover, you have to think of answers to them. Why would you do that when a clear structure is not needed? By doing this, you'll first of all get less nervous because you've kind of already foreseen that, and second of all, you can eliminate any let me think about that, give me a sec, because you already thought about this question and you know where to redirect it, like to what part of your speech. And after you redirected the question to the part of your speech, you just can continue saying that part and then jump up to other one, or jump to the part that someone else asked about. I hope that in this video I could prove you why it is so important to think of a structure even before you start to work on your text. Is there something else that you want to hear from me? Don't hesitate to leave me a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and the bell button, and see you next Monday. Bye!